myself, because I wanted to be cute. Because I wanted to be cute. I don't even know where you were, to be honest.
New footage from Hard Knocks just dropped, and it's already blowing up online. Micah Parsons and CeeDee Lamb were caught in a heated back and forth during Cowboys practice, and fans are debating whether it's just friendly R or something way deeper. In this video, we're breaking down the full exchange, what it says about the energy inside the Cowboys locker room, and whether this tension could spill into the season. Let's get into it. The viral moment. Before we get into the nitty-gritty details of what's actually happening in this footage and what it really means for the Cowboys' locker room dynamics, let's make sure we're all on the same page about who these players are and why their relationship matters so much to the team's success going forward. Micah Parsons, the dynamic linebacker out of Penn State, has been nothing short of phenomenal since being selected by the Cowboys in the 2021 NFL Draft. Known for his explosive play on the eld and his equally explosive personality owe it, Parsons has quickly established himself as one of the most dominant defensive forces in the entire NFL. His versatility allows him to excel both as a traditional linebacker and as an edge rusher, making him a nightmare for opposing offensive coordinators to game plan against week after week. On the other side of the ball, we have CeeDee Lamb, the electric wide receiver who was drafted by Dallas in 2020. Lamb has been steadily ascending the ranks of the league's elite pass catchers, setting multiple Cowboys receiving records along the way. His route running precision, exceptional hands, and ability to create separation have made him Dak Prescott's favorite target and one of the most feared offensive weapons in the NFC East. Now, when footage emerges showing what appears to be tension between two stars of this caliber, it's no wonder that NFL fans and media personalities alike start churning out hot takes faster than you can say America's team. But as we'll explore throughout this video, appearances can be deceiving, and context is absolutely everything when it comes to understanding the dynamics between competitive athletes at the highest level of professional sports. So what exactly are we seeing in this viral footage that has the internet buzzing? The clip in question comes from the Cowboys' Hard Knocks appearance, where cameras captured what initially looks like a heated exchange between Parsons and Lamb during a practice session.
Hey, why you look nervous in that slide? I need you to put a visor on or something. I don't need to see your eyes next time. But I won that.
In the footage, we see Parsons approaching Lamb, seemingly calling him out about looking nervous while lined up in the slot position. The exchange continues with Parsons suggesting Lamb should wear a visor to hide his eyes, implying that Lamb's nervousness was visible. This is followed by more back and forth between the two players.
Because you was nervous. Boy, you've never been in a slot. First of all, you've never been in a slot.
The conversation intensifies as Lamb responds defensively.
Because of myself, because I wanted to be cute. Because I wanted to be cute. I don't even know where you were, to be honest. I didn't feel no presence. I didn't feel any game.
To the casual observer, this looks like genuine conic two-star players getting into it with one another, with Lamb pushing back against Parsons' criticism and essentially saying he didn't even notice Parsons on the eld. The exchange continues with more pointed remarks.
Like, I ain't, you know what I'm saying? You was you were looking me dead in my eyes and I was looking at you.
And the tension seemingly escalates when Parsons directly accuses Lamb of being scared.
That's why I said you were scared. I wasn't scared.
The exchange continues with technical football talk about coverage and leverage.
So what you call it? You don't got to, but you go get your ass bust.
Inside leverage, that's all my job was. If you go outside, I want you to go outside. I'm
you
gonna
do?
on the ball.
So what if I go inside then?
I'm going with you. I just can't let you inside.
Why not?
That's my coverage. I can't let you inside. I'm supposed to make you go outside.
Now, without proper context, this footage has been interpreted by many as evidence of a brewing feud between two of the Cowboys' most important players. And given the historical challenges the Cowboys have faced with locker room chemistry over the years, it's easy to see why fans might be concerned. After all, when star players aren't on the same page, it often spells disaster for a team's championship aspirations. But here's where we need to pump the brakes and take a deeper look at what's really happening here. Is this actually a sign of discord between Parsons and Lamb, or is it something else entirely? To understand what we're seeing, we need to examine not just this isolated moment, but the broader relationship between these two players. And that requires looking at multiple sources and examples of their interactions both on and off the field. When we look at their history together, what emerges is a much more nuanced picture than what this viral clip might suggest at RST glance. In fact, there's substantial evidence that Parsons and Lamb have developed a strong supportive relationship characterized by mutual respect and a shared competitive drive. For instance, during Lamb's contract holdout in 2020, 2024, Parsons was one of his most vocal supporters in the locker room. Parsons expressed strong condensation in Lamb's return, stating, "CeeDee checked in on me. He knows he's not going anywhere," showing a clear bond between the two players even during a potentially divisive contract situation. In another notable example of their positive relationship, Lamb publicly declared his loyalty to Parsons amid trade rumors in March 2025, stating in an interview with Sports Lens, "We're nightly going to retire together. Micah's going to be in a Dallas uniform." This kind of public commitment to a shared future doesn't align with the narrative of a personal feud. Furthermore, behind-the-scenes footage has shown Parsons and Lamb ring with new head coach Brian Schottenheimer in a golf cart, displaying a relaxed and friendly dynamic that contradicts any notion of serious tension between them. So what's really going on in this viral clip? What we're witnessing is actually a perfect example of the intensely competitive practice environment that elite NFL players thrive in. Rather than evidence of a personal feud, this interaction demonstrates the iron sharpens iron mentality that has characterized some of the most successful teams in NFL history. Parsons, as a defensive player going against Lamb in practice, is pushing his teammate to be better, challenging him, getting under his skin, and forcing him to elevate his game. And Lamb, for his part, is responding with the exact kind of competitive read you want to see from your top receiver, refusing to back down and giving it right back. This kind of practice intensity isn't just common in NFL training camps. It's essential for creating the competitive edge necessary to succeed at the highest level. And for players of Parsons and Lamb's caliber, these heated exchanges are often a sign of mutual respect rather than animosity. They push each other precisely because they recognize each other's talent and potential. Teammates, not rivals, the real relationship. When we look at the comprehensive body of evidence rather than just isolated clips, what emerges is a picture of two earthily competitive athletes who push each other to be better while maintaining a strong bond of mutual respect and support. This dynamic isn't unusual in elite sports environments. In fact, it's often the foundation upon which championship teams are built. Let's start by examining more interactions between Parsons and Lamb that provide a more complete understanding of their relationship. One particularly revealing moment came during a conversation about explosiveness in the Cowboys' offense.
We can come back and win by 21.
So you want to be more explosive. You want the play calling to be more explosive, more downfield, more shots. Like,
that's not what I'm saying, but I'm okay with that too at the receiver position. I'm never gonna say no to getting the ball down the field more. And I'm not saying that because we're here, and I'm not saying that because I'm talking to you.
In this exchange, we see Parsons and Lamb engaged in a thoughtful discussion about the team's offensive strategy, with Lamb expressing his enthusiasm for a more explosive approach while being careful to clarify his meaning to Parsons. This kind of nuanced football conversation reveals a relationship built on genuine communication and shared goals for the team's success. Another illuminating glimpse into their dynamic came when Parsons discussed the team's culture and leadership structure.
Man, for me, it's all about setting the tone about what the locker room is, man. We ain't gonna put up with nothing. We ain't gonna tolerate the dumb stuff that was going on.
Parsons continued to elaborate on the new regime within the Cowboys locker room.
Like I said, it's a new regime, new culture. I'm not saying that, other guys weren't culture builders, but some things are just tired. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, if something ain't working, it's good that you got new guys to fix it. I'm just happy that, me, CeeDee, Dak, and, Dak kind of been through 2 generations.
What's particularly notable here is how Parsons specifically mentions CeeDee Lamb as part of the new leadership group that's reshaping the team's culture. Far from being rivals, Parsons clearly views Lamb as an ally in the mission to elevate the Cowboys' standards and expectations. This sentiment is further reinforced as Parsons describes the challenges of the previous leadership dynamic and how the new one, which includes himself and Lamb, represents positive change.
Just a new regime. Like, guys gonna get closer, we're gonna relate, It's just kind of hard, like when you got a bunch of guys that are here and they're older, you know what I mean? They're more your highest paid players, and it's hard to get that relationship. But now we've all came in together, established this relationship. We're all around the same age, and we all hang out way more. So, like you saw us working out together.
These comments reveal that Parsons and Lamb share a close relationship that extends beyond just being teammates. They're actively working together to transform the Cowboys' team culture. Parsons highlights how they're spending time together or the Eld, working out together, and building the kind of camaraderie that's essential for team success. This collaborative relationship has been evident in other contexts as well. In August 2024, during Lamb's contract negotiations with the Cowboys, Parsons publicly expressed concern in Lamb's return to the team. According to NFL.com, comma, Parsons guaranteed that Lamb would play in Week 1, stating, CeeDee is a part of this brotherhood whether he likes it or not. He knows he's not going anywhere. This public vote of condensed demonstrates Parsons' support for his teammate during a potentially contentious period. The support goes both ways. In March 2025, amid trade rumors surrounding Parsons, Lamb declared, we're nightly going to retire together. Micah's going to be in a Dallas uniform, according to an interview with Sports Lens reported by Motorcycle Sports. This statement reveals not just professional respect, but a personal bond and desire for a shared long-term future with the Cowboys organization. Their old relationship extends to social activities as well. When Lamb suffered a season-ending injury in December 2024, Parsons publicly expressed his sadness and concern on social media, according to Sports Illustrated, highlighting the emotional connection between the two players. They've been spotted ring together with head coach Brian Schottenheimer in behind-the-scenes footage released by the Cowboys' Oshel X account, as reported by the Landry Hat, showing their relaxed and friendly dynamic ODL. Additionally, they've collaborated in public settings, such as during a live stream in May 2025, where they jointly responded to Philadelphia Eagles fans' claims about rookie cornerback Quinyon Mitchell. During this event, they laughed together and presented a united front against their division rivals, as reported by Motorcycle Sports. The pattern that emerges from all these instances is one of mutual respect, support, and genuine friendship, not the feuding relationship that might be inferred from viewing the viral practice footage in isolation. In fact, what we're witnessing in that practice footage is actually a textbook example of what happens when two elite competitors push each other to improve. This kind of intense practice dynamic has been a hallmark of successful NFL teams throughout history. Think about the legendary Chicago Bears defenses of the 1980s, where practices were often more intense than actual games. Or the dynasty-era New England Patriots, where Tom Brady was known for his ER's competitiveness in practice, often getting into heated exchanges with defenders who intercepted his passes. These weren't signs of team dysfunction. They were indicators of the championship mentality required to succeed at the highest level. The same principle applies to what we're seeing between Parsons and Lamb. As a defensive player, Parsons' job is to challenge Lamb, to ND and exploit any weaknesses in his game. And as an elite receiver, Lamb's responsibility is to rise to that challenge and prove that he can overcome whatever the defense throws at him. The intensity of their exchange isn't evidence of a personal feud. It's evidence of their shared commitment to excellence. Moreover, this competitive practice dynamic serves a crucial purpose in preparing both players for actual game situations. The NFL is a league of any margins, where the difference between success and failure often comes down to mental toughness and preparation. By challenging each other in practice, Parsons and Lamb are developing the resilience and adaptability they'll need when facing opponents like the Philadelphia Eagles or San Francisco 49ers in high-stakes games. It's worth noting that both players have publicly demonstrated their unity in the face of external challenges, particularly when it comes to divisional rivals. In May 2025, during a live stream event ahead of the NFL schedule release, Parsons and Lamb joined forces to dismiss claims from Philadelphia Eagles fans that rookie cornerback Quinyon Mitchell, nicknamed Quinyanamo Bay, could shut down Lamb. According to a Yahoo Sports article, Parsons stated, "I'm sorry that Quinyanamo Bay don't last over here, man. That bleep's dead." While Lamb condently added, "I ain't never been locked down," and "stop the cap," which is slang for stop lying. This united front against a common rival further underscores their collaborative relationship rather than an adversarial one. Their mutual support extends to challenging times as well. When both players were dealing with injuries in November 2024, they were mentioned together in team updates, highlighting their shared importance to the team's success, according to Newsweek. This parallel treatment by the coaching style and media re-echoes their equal standing as cornerstones of the franchise. What makes their relationship particularly valuable to the Cowboys is how they complement each other's leadership styles. Parsons is known for his vocal, energetic approach, while Lamb often leads by example through his work ethic and on-field performance. These different but complementary leadership approaches create a more robust team culture that can resonate with a wider range of players. Team dynamics and future implications. One of the most significant aspects of Parsons and Lamb's relationship is their emergence as the new leadership core of the Cowboys, alongside quarterback Dak Prescott. This transition represents a changing of the guard from the previous generation of leaders, something Parsons himself has addressed explicitly.
Like I said, it's a new regime, new culture. I'm not saying that, other guys weren't culture builders, but, some things are just tired. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, if something ain't working, it's good that you got new guys to fix it. I'm just happy that, me, CeeDee, Dak, and that kind of been through 2 generations.
This comment is particularly revealing because it directly references both the past leadership structure and the new one that includes himself and CeeDee Lamb. Parsons is acknowledging that while the previous generation of leaders had value, there were aspects of the team culture that needed changing, and he sees himself, Lamb, and Prescott as the catalysts for that change. What's especially noteworthy is Parsons' reference to not tolerating the dumb stew that was going on, which suggests that he and his fellow young leaders are establishing higher standards and expectations within the locker room. This kind of cultural reset can be transformative for an NFL franchise, particularly one with the storied history and high expectations of the Dallas Cowboys. The timing of this leadership transition is significant as well. Both Parsons and Lamb are entering the prime of their careers, having established themselves as elite players at their respective positions. This combination of on-field excellence and leadership maturity gives them the credibility needed to influence the team's overall direction and culture. Their leadership styles, while different, are complementary in ways that benefit the team. Parsons tends to be more vocal and direct, as evidenced by his willingness to challenge teammates in practice and speak candidly to the media. Lamb, while certainly not lacking in condense, often leads more by example through his consistent work ethic and performance. This balance provides different models of excellence for other players to emulate. The impact of their leadership extends beyond just the locker room dynamics. It directly affects the team's performance on the field. By creating a culture of accountability and excellence, Parsons and Lamb are raising the standard for everyone on the roster. This is particularly important for a franchise like the Cowboys, which has struggled in recent years to translate regular season success into postseason achievements. A perfect example of their unique approach to external challenges comes in their handling of the Cowboys-Eagles rivalry, one of the most intense in the NFL. In May 2025, during a live stream event ahead of the NFL schedule release, Parsons and Lamb presented a united front against claims from Eagles fans about rookie cornerback Quinyon Mitchell. According to reports, when Eagles fans suggested that Mitchell, nicknamed Quinyanamo Bay, could shut down Lamb, both Cowboy stars dismissed the notion. Parsons stated, "I'm sorry that Quinyanamo Bay don't last over here, man. That bleep's dead," while Lamb condently added, "I ain't never been locked down," as reported by Motorcycle Sports. This joint response demonstrates not just their individual condents, but their collective approach to team rivalries. Rather than focusing on internal competition, they're united against external challenges, exactly what you want to see from team leaders. Their relationship isn't just about the present either. Both players have explicitly expressed their commitment to a shared long-term future with the Cowboys. Lamb's declaration that, "We're nightly going to retire together. Micah's going to be in a Dallas uniform," speaks to a vision that extends well beyond the current season or contract cycle. This kind of long-term commitment is invaluable for team stability and continuity. Similarly, Parsons' support during Lamb's contract negotiations demonstrated his understanding of the business side of football and his desire to keep the core group together. By publicly expressing confidence in Lamb's return, he was actively advocating for his teammates' value to the organization while simultaneously reassuring fans about the team's future. Their supportive relationship is particularly important in the context of the Cowboys' recent history. The team has had its share of high-profile internal conflicts over the years, from the Terrell Owens era to more recent tensions. By establishing a healthier, more collaborative leadership dynamic, Parsons and Lamb are helping to create the kind of stable foundation necessary for sustainable success. Another important aspect of their relationship is how it bridges the defense divide that can sometimes emerge within NFL teams. As a star linebacker and wide receiver respectively, Parsons and Lamb represent the two sides of the ball, and their strong bond helps ensure that the entire team remains united, rather than splintering into offensive and defensive factions. This cross-unit leadership is re-acted in their practice interactions as well. While the viral footage might initially appear confrontational, it actually demonstrates their commitment to making each other better. Parsons challenges Lamb from a defensive perspective, while Lamb pushes back with the condence of an elite receiver. This iron sharpens iron approach benefits not just them individually, but raises the standard for the entire team. Their relationship also has significant implications for the Cowboys' upcoming 2025 season. With their RST game scheduled against the Philadelphia Eagles on September 4th, 2025 at Lincoln Financial Field, the leadership and unity demonstrated by Parsons and Lamb will be immediately tested in a hostile environment against a bitter divisional rival. Their joint dismissal of Eagles rookie Quinyon Mitchell's impact during their live stream, as reported by Yahoo Sports, sets the tone for this matchup, creating both expectations and pressure for them to back up their content words with on-field performance. This kind of public stance requires the internal trust and cadence that comes from a strong relationship. The broader context of the Cowboys' transition under new head coach Brian Schottenheimer adds another layer of significance to Parsons and Lamb's leadership dynamic. As the team adapts to new schemes and expectations, having established team leaders who are fully committed to the new direction is invaluable. Their positive interactions with Schottenheimer, as documented in behind-the-scenes footage, suggest they're embracing this transition and helping to bring others along. Looking at the comprehensive evidence of their relationship over time, a clear pattern emerges that contradicts any notion of a genuine feud. From public statements of support during contract negotiations to shared moments of camaraderie or the eld, from unique responses to rival teams to collaborative leadership within the locker room, all signs point to a healthy, productive partnership rather than a contentious rivalry. This doesn't mean they'll never have disagreements or heated moments. Such incidents are inevitable among competitive athletes at the highest level. But what matters is the underlying foundation of respect and common purpose that allows them to navigate those moments constructively rather than destructively. The practice footage that went viral, when viewed in this broader context, actually becomes evidence of their commitment to excellence rather than a sign of discord. The intensity of their exchange re-echoes the seriousness with which they approach their craft and their mutual expectation of greatness from one another. It's worth noting that this kind of relationship doesn't develop overnight. Since entering the league in 2020, Lamb, and 2021, Parsons, they've had time to build understanding and trust, to learn each other's personalities and communication styles, and to develop the kind of shorthand that allows for intense interactions without lasting damage to their bond. This maturation process is evident in how they've stepped into more prominent leadership roles as their careers have progressed. What began as individual excellence has evolved into a collaborative approach to team leadership, with both players increasingly aware of their influence on the broader organization. Their relationship also carries significant implications for the Cowboys' front OCE and long-term roster construction. With both players emphasizing their desire to remain with the team long-term, the organization has clear incentive to build around this core, creating a team identity and culture that aligns with their leadership approach. The financial implications are substantial as well. Elite players at premium positions like wide receiver and edge rusher, linebacker command top-of-market contracts, requiring significant salary cap allocation. By demonstrating their unique commitment to the franchise, Parsons and Lamb potentially make those investments more palatable for ownership, knowing that they're getting not just on-field production, but cultural leadership as well. From a fan perspective, the Parsons-Lamb dynamic represents a new generation of Cowboys stars to rally behind players who combine elite talent with a genuine commitment to the team's success. Their apparent friendship and mutual respect creates a compelling narrative that enhances the connection between the team and its passionate fan base. In assessing what all this means for the 2025 season and beyond, it's clear that the Parsons-Lamb relationship will be a denting factor in the Cowboys' fortunes. Their leadership approach, competitive dynamic, and united front against external challenges create a foundation for team success that extends far beyond their individual contributions. The Week 1 matchup against the Eagles will provide an immediate litmus test for how this dynamic translates to on-field performance, particularly given their public comments about Eagles cornerback Quinyon Mitchell, how Lamb performs against Mitchell's coverage, and how the defense led by Parsons responds to the Eagles' offensive attack will be closely watched both for individual excellence and for signs of their collective leadership impact. Beyond that opening game, the 2025 season represents an opportunity for Parsons and Lamb to fully establish themselves as the face of a new era for the Cowboys, one denned by a healthy team culture, competitive excellence, and the kind of player-led accountability that has characterized many of the NFL's most successful franchises. So while the viral practice footage might have momentarily created the impression of connect between these two stars, the comprehensive body of evidence tells a very direct story. What we're actually witnessing is the evolution of a productive partnership built on mutual respect, shared goals, and the intense competitive read that drives elite athletes to push themselves and each other to new heights. In the pressure cooker environment of the NFL, where the margin between success and failure is razor thin, this kind of relationship isn't just beneficial, it's essential. The Cowboys' hopes for returning to championship contention may well depend on Parsons and Lamb continuing to challenge each other while maintaining the strong bond they've clearly established. If you enjoyed watching this clip, then go ahead and click on any of the cards on your screen for more.